Hey guys, it's Dave, and it's time for a story. So, Reliant K, we toured a lot. Drove all around the country in circles and all over the place. And of course, we've done a lot of fly dates as well. And this is about one of those fly dates. Back in the day, of course, there used to be paper tickets that you would have. And even in the early days of Reliant K, like paper tickets were on their way out. So it was kind of rare to even have them. And if you did have a paper ticket, it was probably just a copy of, you could just go to the airport and check in again and, get another ticket, just like you can now, if you choose to. Although now I do feel like it's a little bit odd when I see people with paper in their hand, if they're not just checking in on their phone or something. I don't know. It just seems odd to me. Anyway, we were in Terrace, British Columbia. You should map this thing, Terrace, British Columbia. It's, that area of Alaska that kind of comes down along the west coast, coming south out of the main chunk of Alaska. And it's the little skinny part that's along the coast with all the islands where Juneau is and all that kind of stuff, right? So Terrace is actually quite close to that. So I don't remember how many miles offhand, or I don't know, but it's not too far from Alaska. So it's a long ways away out on the west coast and pretty far north. And we had a show in Terrace. And then we were going to be doing some sort of a media day in, I think it was Orlando. It could be Atlanta, but I'm pretty sure it was Orlando, because I remember thinking that these two locations could not get much further apart. It's like 5,500 miles apart or something crazy, And so we had this flight, and it was going to be super long, and of course flying to the east, so we'd lose time. So it's basically whatever it was going to be. It was going to be like a 5 or 6 hour flight or something, and then you end up losing 3 hours as well. So it's just chews up your whole day and everything else. And it was going to be this media day, and then it was so you would just go from room to room in a hotel or in some sort of a convention center to booths. I don't know what this one actually was. And as it turned out, I never would find out what it was because I didn't go to it. Matt Hoops lost his paper ticket, and we discovered this day of the flight. So I think the media day was the following day. And it was we're getting ready to go to the airport, and Hoops cannot find his paper ticket. And whatever, it seems so old-fashioned now, but it could not be reissued. It was well, if you don't have the paper ticket, you don't get on the plane, And so Hoops had no way to get there that day. And for whatever reason, I don't know why we couldn't just purchase another flight, or maybe the deal was that it could be reissued, but it had to be the next day or something like that. I don't know exactly what the details were, but it turns out he was not able to get on that plane. And so I decided to not let Mr. Hoops spend the day alone in Terrace, British Columbia. So I said, you know what, I'll sacrifice and I'll stay here in beautiful British Columbia with Matt Hoops, and we'll just have a day off and we'll hang out, and you guys can go to Orlando and talk to all kinds of media and be shuffled here and there and telling the same stories over and over and things like that. So I went ahead and did that. I gave up my spot. And I gotta say, it was a nice little day off, if I do remember correctly, but we certainly did not do anything productive. And then we got on a plane the next day and met the guys in some other city, and I'm sure we played a show that day. But yep, that's Hoops and I hanging out in Terrace, British Columbia. Back to the show, guys.